Hi friends, welcome to my channel, and this is Windows Server 2019 training tutorial, and this is number 29 video in this series. And today in this video I'm going to show you how to deploy Microsoft VDI, which is virtual desktop infrastructure, by using remote desktop services on Windows Server 2019. So basically a virtual desktop infrastructure, you can see one machine for a single user at any given time. So basically remote desktop services provide a feature which you can use to deploy uh, Microsoft virtual machines infrastructure across your organization. So all the users are going to get their personalized virtual machines, which is known as a VDI solutions, and they can log into that virtual machine by using any thin client device or RDP connection, and they can log into that virtual machine, which is dedicated for the users, and they can work on it, and whenever they logs off, it's going to be run on host. So basically the virtual desktop which is going to be introduced, it's going to run on your server platform. So definitely it's going to be a cheaper if you think about the long-term solution. So because for example, if you buy 100 machines of 100 physical desktop, high-end desktop, that is going to be cost you more if you buy 2 physical servers, and you give the user configurations like machine configuration as per user requirements. So definitely it's going to be cheaper for you. So that's why all the big organizations or a small organization which having their infra to invest in Microsoft VDI, they are looking for deploy VDI solutions. It may be from Microsoft RDS, it may be Citrix, Zen Desktop, or VMware Horizon View. So in this video I'm going to focus on Microsoft VDI, which is my going to be installed and configured by using remote desktop services from RDS. So in Microsoft VDI solution, you can basically deploy two type of solution. One is pooled solution, one is personal solution. So in a personal solution, the users are going to get their identical machine every time when they are going to log in. So basically in a personal solution, what users are going to get their personal machine every time, which is defined to users. For example, if the user one is associated with computer one, he is always going to log into computer one, and if user 2 is defined to computer 2, he is always going to connect with the computer 2. It does not matter from where he is connecting. So in pooled environment, basically machines Microsoft RDS is going to have a collection of virtual machine, and always the machines are not going to be always identical for all the users. So whenever user are going to log into Microsoft RDS solution which is deployed for VDI, it's going to see which next virtual machine is available and standby mode to give access to users. So there are basically two kind of solution in Microsoft VDI. So in this video I'm going to focus on personal VDI Microsoft deployment, and later on next video I will create on pooled VDI infrastructure. So there was some difference. Pooled, you can use the differential, Microsoft is going to use differential hard drive in a backend to save the hard disk size. In a personal desktop, Microsoft is going to use a full hard drive for each virtual machine, each VDIs, which is going to cost you more because it's going to have a it's going to need more disk space. So let's get in and we'll discuss what is virtual desktop infrastructure. So this is the Microsoft RDS VDI infrastructure. So whenever you need to deploy a Microsoft VDI solution, you have to have these 5 things in place. So the first thing, you have to have a domain controller, which is going to be your Active Directory infrastructure. So if you are planning to deploy Microsoft VDI, you have to have your domain controller up and running, which you can configure for Microsoft Remote Desktop Services. And the next thing, you need a client. It's always required you to have a client like a thin client machine or any Windows client, or any client by which you can log into your VDI solutions, which you allow you to do the remote desktop for the VDI solution. So Next you need a connection broker, which is going to be, these all three is a part of Microsoft RDS solution. So the first thing, you need a connection broker server, which is going to allow you to manage your RDS VDI farm, and you can create, delete, and every task you need to perform, do the administration, you have to do from remote desktop connection broker. And this is going to be your remote desktop web access, which is going to allow you to log into the web page where you can see all the published virtual machine VDI solution, and you can log in and you can get the RDP file for the virtual desktop infrastructure. And this is a remote desktop virtualization host. This is going to be basically your Hyper-V host, where all the virtual machines are going to be hosted and run. So this is virtual host is going to be Hyper-V host, basically a Microsoft RDS VDI solution. So let's get in and we'll discuss what we have in this demo. So basically I'm using three servers here. The first machine is Win2K19 DC01, which is going to be my Active Directory DNS and DHCP server. So IP address of this machine 192.168.0.201, and my domain name is victorinfosol.local. So let's check here. So Active Directory, DHCP, and DNS role on this machine. And this is Win2K19 DC01, and my domain name is victorinfosol.local. You can see my this profile also, IP address. So this is my domain controller and DHCP server. And the second machine is going to be Win2K19 RDS. So this is a brand new machine. I have not configured and done anything on this machine. So this is freshly installed machine. I'm going to show you step by step what all things you need to do to configure this RDS connection broker and RDS web access role. And this machine having 8 GB of memory. And this machine I'm going to join in domain, which is victorinfosol.local. And the next machine which we have is going to be RD virtualization host or Hyper-V host. So Win2K19 HV01, and this is also going to join my domain and with this IP and address configuration. And next we have a two thin client machine, Win10 TH01 and Win10 TH02. Both are running with the 4 GB RAM, and both machines are joined in my domain. So if I go here, you can see this is joined in my domain, Win10 TH01, and this is going to be like a thin client for my environment. So this is also TH02. So both machine I have logged in with my domain account. If I go here and show you who am I, so I logged in as a user 2 on thin client 02, and here who am I? So user 01 Victor Infosol. So this is my Active Directory users account. So if I go my Active Directory server and see the Active Directory users and computers, you will see here I have few accounts created here. So this is going to be like admin account. So I'm going to create one admin account first here and call it RDS admin. This account I'm going to use to log into my remote desktop RD host virtualization server and basically RDS connection broker. So I'm going to add this user as a domain admin. However, you just need to make sure these this account going to have a administrator credential administrator group added to RDS and Hyper-V host. So I have added in domain controller, so it's automatically going to be part of local admin on those two servers. And you can see we have few users account, which is going to be normal, which I am using to log into my thin client machines. And this is VDI container. You can see this is workstation. So here my both machines are there. You can see Win10 TH01 TH02, and this is our VDI OU, where we are going to deploy all the virtual machines, and which is going to be deployed in VDI infrastructure. So let's configure these two servers now. So the first thing which we need to do, I'm going to join this, configure this machine IP address and join in domain. So the IP address for this machine is going to be 192.168.0.202, and gateway is going to be 1, and this is going to be DNS is my primary server, and alternative is going to be my router address to get the internet. So this is good, and now I can go ahead and rename this machine and join in domain. So win2k19 RDS, and I can join in my domain too. So victorinfosol.local. So type the credential to join this machine in domain. So welcome to victorinfosol. So going to restart now this computer. So this is done, and you can see if I go to computers, you can see the machine is joined. And same I'm going to do with my HV02. So I'm going to disable enhanced security, configure IP address now. So I'm going to disable IPv6, then IP address is going to be 192.168.0.203, and subnet is 24-bit, gateway 1, my primary domain controller, and then going to be my router address. So now this is good, and I'm good to go and join this machine in domain now. So this is going to be win2k19 HV01, and my domain name victorinfosol.local. And my administrator credential to join this machine in domain. So welcome to domain. So I'm going to reboot this machine as well. Now you can see RDS01 is RDS server is rebooted. I'm going to hit Ctrl-Del and log in as a RDS admin. So here we go, and this machine is also rebooted. So now we can see both the machine join in my domain, and I am good to go ahead and move this in correct OU. So I'm going to move it in servers. So we have moved this account here in servers. So this is good now. And let's see, so Hyper-V host is also rebooted. I'm going to join this machine also as a RDS admin, and going to see if everything good. So now, so this machine is joined in domain, so this is good. And now I'm going to go ahead and add this HV host in here and server manager of the RDS server. So I'm going to select HV01 and add server. So now basically we can perform administrative tasks for HV01 from here also. So now we can go here and see all server status, and you can see both the servers are here, which we are planning to add in RDS farm, our connection broker, web access server role, and RD virtualization host. So this is good, and now we are good to go ahead and install RD virtualization and these roles. So I'm going on my server manager, click manage, add role and features. So this is going to be a remote desktop services installation, because we are going to install a VDI infrastructure to create a virtual machine based on a session. So we are focusing on VDI infrastructure, so click next. And now this is going to be, say, give you the option is standard deployment for multiple server across multiple server, Quick for one server. So the Quick is going to install everything on one server, and standard is going to allow you to deploy your infrastructure on multiple multiple RDS servers. So we have two servers, so we have to go with the standard deployment. Click next. And deployment scenario, so we are going to deploy virtual machine based desktop deployment. So click next, and you can see here it's going to install remote desktop connection broker, RD web access, and RD virtualization host, which we have selected here. So this is good. And also you can see this is going to be the credential for this will be account used to create deployment is going to be RDS admin. So this account having administrative rights on both the servers, so we are good to go, and click next. And now where you want to specify RD connection broker, so this is going to be a RDS server, and web access also going to be RDS server. So I'm going to select my RDS server, click next. And now install the RD Web Access also on a connection broker. So this is going to be our RDS. So this is good. And now where you want to install a RD virtualization host, so I have to install on this machine, which is Hyper-V host server. So now we can add here, and this is going to be a create new virtual switch on selected server. So we have to create a new switch which we are going to use in all the virtual machine to communicate with my physical network. So this is going to be create one external network. So we'll see this switch after deployment and creation. So click next. And now this is good. You can see these two roles, RD connection broker web access does not require reboot, but this RD virtualization role require reboot because it's going to install a Hyper-V role on this server. And new virtual switch, yes. So it's going to deploy Hyper-V, install a Hyper-V role on this machine and enable the RD virtualization host, and then it's going to create new switch. So we are good to go, and click now deploy. So it's going to install these two roles one by one, and then it's going to install RD virtualization host services, and it's going to reboot this machine, which is our Hyper-V host. So we have to wait for some time here to get the installation done, and so Hyper-V host to reboot and come back. So if you see here in my machine, I having only one drive, so I'm going to add one 500 gig drive we have attached to this server, where we are going to store the Hyper-V virtual machine files. So I'm going to change the DVD drive as so going to import this, and I'm going to create new volume, call it HV data. So next, finish. So basically we are going to store all virtualization like a hyper virtual machine files here and HV data. I'm going to create one folder here called HV data. So we are going to store here. So this is good. And now you can see this is going to be in progress. So it's web access role currently installing on our Win2K19 RDS server. So now it's installing the RD virtualization host services on this server. So soon this server is going to reboot. So we have to wait for a few more seconds here to get the server take reboot. So you have to make sure if you're on your virtualization host you have enabled the Intel VT technology from BIOS if you are using a physical server, because if you don't enable the Intel VT technology, virtualization technology, it's not going to allow you to install a Hyper-V role, which is prerequisite. You have to have enabled the Intel VT technology on your Hyper-V host or the RD virtualization host to install and allow to run the virtual machine on the hypervisor. So now you can see this is getting restarted. So now it's going to take 2 reboots because Hyper-V required 2 reboots for the machine to come online and get the Hyper-V installation done. So I guess this is going to be first time reboot, so it's going to take one more reboot. So now this must be a first reboot. So working on feature, do not turn off your computer. And this is basically going to install a Hyper-V and configure the Hyper-V feature. And after this reboot, your operating system which is installed on your Hyper-V host is going to become a first virtual machine on this hypervisor. That's why Hyper-V known as a type 1 hypervisor, which does not require operating system platform. So this is good. The server is rebooted. I'm going to log in on this machine now, RD virtualization host, and we'll verify the installation of Hyper-V is done and RD virtualization host is enabled. So now you can see it's restarting, still showing restarting. So it's going to take some time to like get the information the server is rebooted and all the services are up and running good. So you can see remote desktop services in enable and Hyper-V is enabled. So now you can verify this server is going to have two main role, which is Hyper-V and RD virtualization host. So let's verify here. So you can see Hyper-V is enabled and remote desktop virtualization host is enabled on this machine. So we are good with this. Now you can see the connection broker configuration succeeded, web access succeeded, and it's finally configured virtualization host services. So it's going to be configured soon, so just wait for this to finish. So succeeded this also, so everything is good now. You can see if I go on now on remote desktop services, okay, let's refresh this and now go to remote desktop services. You can see this is done, and you can see on RDS host we have RD connection broker and web access row, and HV having RD virtualization host. Now you can go ahead and create virtualization desktop collection. So if I click here, you will see what all you need, like Active Directory, and you have a like existing virtual machine desktop that can be used as a template. So you need basically one template which you can use to deploy the virtual machine for VDI. So we have to create one template because we don't have template. So I'm going to create one template now. So if I go here on Hyper-V, let's go to our RD virtualization host and go in Hyper-V manager and first verify the virtual switch. So I'm going to verify virtual switch. You can see RD virtualization host is virtual switch is created as external switch, and it's added with my gigabyte physical network. So this is good. And let's go to Hyper-V settings. You can see here virtual hard disk and all these information where it's going to save. So I'm going to change the path to my D drive HV data. So hard drive is going to be save NV HV data virtual disks, and this is going to be save virtual machine here. So this is good. So now let's create one template, virtual machine template. So you have to have use the operating system for template which is going to be your like professional or enterprise. So I'm going to use the Windows 10 64-bit enterprise edition. So let's go here, create a new virtual machine and call it VDI master, and going to be a generation 2 virtual machine, and I'm going to assign 6 gig of memory to this machine. And in networking I'm going to attach to the my RDS virtual NIC, and disk I'm going to add a 61 GB disk as a OS operating system drive, and click next. Now I'm going to install the from ISO. So I have ISO in my C drive, which is for Windows 10 Enterprise and all edition, so Enterprise, Professional, Education. So I'm going to browse this and click next, and now I'm going to click on finish. So now if I go to settings, I'm going to increase the processor for this machine. Basically you can set to 2 or 4, so I'm going to set for 4 to speed up the installation right now. So this is good, everything is looking good, and now we can go ahead and connect to this machine, and then we are going to power on this machine and install the operating system. So virtual machine installation is going to be same as we do the Hyper-V virtual machine installation, and going to install and configure post this. So Windows installation, install now. I'm going to select Windows 10 Enterprise 64-bit architect, click next, accept the license terms, customize Windows, and click next now to begin the installation. So this is going to take some time. I'm going in task manager to increase the priority of this task in real time. Setup dot installation for this also. So it's going to speed up installation much better, and you can see it's getting installed. So I'm going to pause the recording here. Once the installation is done and machine is ready for the configuration, I will resume from there. Now the installation is done. We are good to go and configure this master template. So just trying to finish this whole installation. So I'm going to create one dummy account, then we have to enable the administrator account for this Windows 10, because by default the administrator account is going to be disabled. So this machine is going to be logged in as a user, which we have just created, and then I'm going to log in as a user and then enable administrator account, and we'll delete this default user account which is just creating. So this is going to take few minutes here, so I'm going to pause the recording again. So I'm logged in as a user, so I'm going to open a computer management and enable the administrative account. So here we can go ahead and enable administrator. I'm going to log off now from this account and logged in as administrator. So this is also going to take some time to create profile and allow us to log in as administrator. So I'm going to pause the recording once again, and once we are logged in as administrator, I'm going to delete the user account. So we'll follow it. So we are logged in. You can see this is taking IP address from a DHCP server and identify the domain name. So this is good thing. And now I'm going to open a control panel basically. And I'm going to delete the user account. So make changes, manage other account, delete user, delete files. So delete account now. So it's going to delete this account user. So now we have only one account enabled, which is administrator. So this is good. And also if you want to install or uninstall any application, you can go ahead and install it. So for now I'm going to install MS Office on this machine to get so all the users are going to get MS Office. So I'm going to mount the MS Office installation media. So this is MS Office 2016 Professional Plus, which I'm going to install. So you can also customize if you want to like change any application which you don't need to install. So I'm going to leave the default and going to install everything. So once this is done, we are good to actually go and shut down this machine, sysprep and shut down this machine. And once this machine is shut down, we can go ahead and create VDI collection. So just wait for get the installation done for MS Office, then we will run the sysprep. So you can find the sysprep under C drive, and you can go to Windows, and then you can go to System 32 and then sysprep. So also you can make sure your Windows is fully updated. So if you can go ahead and check for Windows update for this machine. So let's do the Windows patching also for this machine. So we are going to get the most recent Windows patched machine in our template. So update and security, and this is Windows update. I'm going to check for Windows update now. So it's going to check for Windows update, and it's going to install all the updates which is available for this Windows 10 Enterprise till now date. So all the machine is going to be updated completely. So I'm going to wait for this Windows patching and MS Office installation. So I'm going to pause the recording once again, and we'll resume once the machine is MS Office installation is done and this machine is ready for the Windows patching also. So going to pause the recording once again. So now you can see it's started installation, and it's also going to like take all the update which is available here. So you can see it's updating the like Flash Player, Windows Defender. It's going to install all the patches. Also it's going to update machine for this 1709. So you have to make sure your basically your template is always going to be most recent patching and all the updated software installed on it. So this is good, and now you can see it's downloading all the updates. If you go here, and you can see the traffic is going to be come for downloads. So here you can see it's going to download all the patches. So now you can see Windows patching is done, and also MS Office's installation is completed. So I'm going to close MS Office, and I'm going to restart the machine to take all the changes which is done through the Windows update. And then once the Windows update is completed and machine is back, we are going to run the sysprep and save the settings. Then we are good to go and create the collection from RD connection server. So I'm going to pause the recording once again, and once the machine is ready and we are good to go and log in, I'm going to resume the video from there. So pausing the recording again. So now we are logged in and with the administrator account, and you can see we have MS Office. So this machine is ready for now capturing the image and running the sysprep. So I'm going to run the sysprep. So I'm going to remove the CD drive, I don't need it. So apply, and you have to make sure you does the cleanup. So since this is updated to Windows 10 1809, so we have to go and do the cleanup. So you have to make sure you clean your this disk or VM which you are going to use as a template for VDI solution. So install all the application, do the cleanup, and do the Windows patching, install antivirus tool if you have any, then you can go ahead. Now you can see it's only it's using approx 30, you can see 35 gigs. So we need after cleanup it's going to be like around less than 25 gigs. So now you can see it's finding the previous Windows installation which was 1609. So this machine is upgraded. So let's wait for this. It's going to take some time because it's going to see all the Windows old logs and everything, and Windows old files, patching files, everything it's going to take care. So it's going to take some time. So I'm pausing the recording once again. So now I'm going to mark here, take everything which we need to clean up. So you can see here previous installation it got 22 gig around, so it's going to clean up everything. So I'm going to click on OK, and now it's going to delete everything permanently, and it's going to create space in our C drive. So yes, I want to do the disk cleanup for previous Windows installation. So it's going to run now. Cleanup is going to run in backend now, and see it's going to create all the free space which was currently used by this old Windows installation file. So basically you have to make sure you have a latest operating system with all patches and your application install which you want to give to your end users. So this is all. So let's wait for some time to get this cleanup done. So the cleanup is about to finish now, and you can see the size has been decreased to 22 gig. So here you go. So now we have 42 gig free space in disk. So this is good. And now it's decreased to 17 gig. And you will see also it's going to delete this windows.old folder from here. So done, we can go ahead and click OK, and now you will see windows.old folder is deleted from here. So now we are finally good to go ahead and run the sysprep. So I'm going to Windows System 32 and I'm going to call it folder sysprep, and then good to go ahead and run this sysprep. So I'm going to journalize it and shut down the template. So go ahead. So now you can see sysprep is working and it's going to do all its work, and the machine is going to take the shutdown, and then we are good to go ahead and create the collection. So I'm going on RDS collection. So here I'm going to click create new collection. So this is also, you need one like a group. You must need user or user group. So I'm going to create one group here. So I'm going to call it VDI users. So all members who is added to this group is going to get the VDI access. So I'm going to add my normal users to VDI users group. So VDI users. So now these users are going to get access to the VDI through this group. So this is good. Now let's see one more time. So it's sysprep is still running. So you can see machine is journalizing, network has been unplugged, not connected showing, and icons of few application has been also disappeared. So this is good. So it's going to take 5 to 10 minutes to do the sysprep. Mostly it's going to come within a 5 minutes, so it's going to take some more time. So now you can see the machine is getting shut down. So now machine has this template has been shut down, and we can go and settings and verify if we need to change anything. So I'm going to add 2 logical processors on each machine. So it's going to be 2 and apply, and now we are good and we can proceed next. I'm going on RDS server and I'm going to create now collection. So click next, and this is Win10 VDI, you can say. Click next, and collection type we are going to see the pulled in next video. So currently I'm going to focus on personal, which is going to be a permanent user assignment to the virtual machine. If you go pull, you will see redirect virtual machine based on the virtual machine template. So I'm going to do the personal, and then automatic create and manage virtual desktop, and this is going to be our template, which is VDI master. So click next, and specify personal desktop auto assignment. So this is going to assign automatic users whenever some new users is going to try, and add the user in local administrator in the virtual desktop. So I'm going to give all the users to admin access on their VDI. So go ahead, click next, and sysprep setting I'm going with the default. Click next, and here you need to specify the time zone, and also you can specify where you want to put the desktop. So I'm going to put in VDI this OU. So I'm just going to get the path of this OU. So under India, this is our OU VDI, so I'm going in properties and I'm going to copy this extension's name, and now I'm going to paste it here. Oops, something bad, might be it's not copied, so go again and let's try now. So it's OU VDI under India OU and our domain name. So good, click next. And now what the name you want, so I want with Win10 VDI. I'm going to be start from 1, and how much machine you need, so I'm going to add 3 machines for now. And here which group you want to give access, so I want to give VDI users. So VDI users 3 machine for now, and the machine name start with Win10-VDI 1. So this is good, click next. And now this is going to save all 3 virtual machine on this host, RD virtualization host, because we have only one host, so we have to go with it. Click next, and where you want to save the like storage of template, so I'm going to save in my D drive. So going to create one folder, I call it master VDI master. So it's going to basically export the image here on this path for this template. So this is the path, click next, and this is the whole information which we have gone through: name, type personal, manage option yes, manage active directory. This is going to be our OU, and this is time zone, groups, and this is going to be a group which you are going to give access. Template name 3 virtual machine, and name is going to be this. Format is going to be VDI1, VDI2, and 3 virtual machine. This is good. User assignment yes. So now click on create. So first thing, it's going to export the virtual machine. So if you go on Hyper-V host, you will see it's exporting the Hyper-V this virtual machine now. And once the export is done, it's going to start the creation of virtual machines, and it's going to create a computer account by itself. It's going to join those machine in domain, and everything is going to be taken care automatically. So you just need to make sure you have an active DHCP server. So on my AD server I have active DHCP scope, which is going to be responsible for assigning IP address to the virtual machine VDI basically, which is going to become online. So you can see I have a office LAN, and this is the IP address which it can assign. So you can see it's still exporting, so it's going to take some time. So the export is completed now, and you can see now it's started creating virtual machine. So it's going to be start, and if I go here on my Active Directory server and refresh this, might be we got the computer accounts created. So it's going to create all computer accounts one by one and going to do deployment one by one. So you can see for now we don't have any virtual machine here. And if we go here and verify the master image has been cloned, I copy it. So in my D drive VDI master, you will see Win10 VDI has been folder has been created, and you will see here image is going to be saved here. This is going to be a master machine image, and if I go here, you will say like this machine is created, and it's basically at the back end it's copying the hard drive right now. So this is good. One machine folder has been created, and you can see also this machine is also created now and it's running a state. And if I go in AD, You can see computer object is also created, but it's going to be a blank for now, I guess. So you can see no operating system information. So it's going to boot up, machine is going to boot up. You can see it's started, it's going to boot up, and it's going to configure everything and join in domain, going to add user group in remote desktop and local administrator. So it's going to take care of everything by automatically. So we just need to wait for some time. So I'm going to pause the recording till the time our 3 VDIs is going to become deployment is going to be completed, and then I will resume and I will show you how we can log into the VDI server. So pausing the recording again. So now you can see 2 machines has been deployed and saved, and last one is running, and it's almost finished, about to finish. Once this machine configuration is completed, and now if I go in AD and refresh this, you will see 3 AD computer account has been created, and you will see here operating system information now because it's joined in domain now. So all 3 machines is now joined in domain. So it's going to take few more minutes to get this collection creation completed. So let's wait for some more time. So now you can see Win10 VDI collection was created successfully, so we can go ahead and close this. Now we can see the status in the collection. We have a personal managed size of 3 virtual disk. Virtual machine is created, and now if I go to Win10 VDI, you can see 3 virtual machine is showing all in save state, and VDI users are added, and administrator access granted, user assignment automatic. So this is good, and you can also see the template information. This is the template name where it's saved, memory, and this is good. So now here we can see on Hyper-V also 3 virtual machine in save states. And now let's try to get an VDI. So I'm going to open an Internet Explorer, and then I'm going to type here https:// our RDS server name win2k19 rds.victor-infosol.local then rdweb, and here we go. And this is not trusted because HTTPS certificate. So I'm going to log in now. So type here victor-infosol and user01, and I'm going to log in with my password, and you can see VDI 10 is Win10 VDI is there. So this is good. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to save this file. So now it's saved in my downloads. So you can see this is the file which is going to redirect to our VDI collection. So I'm going to double click on it, and I'm going to put my credential here. So now you can see this is preparing virtual machine. So it's going to power on. You can see it's starting the virtual machine, restore, finish, and then it's going to gather network information. Then it's going to allow you to log into that virtual machine. So I'm going to copy this file, RDP file, and paste it here. So you can see it's login now, and I'm going to double click on it and open with RDP and click connect, and going to type password for user02, and you can see it's going to start now second virtual machine. So it's starting now, and here we can see here I logged in by user01. So if I go on machine, and I can see the host name and all other information. So you can see this is Win10 VDI1, and this is joined in my domain also. I have logged in as a domain account, so this is good. And now user02 is getting session now, and if I go to RD connection broker and go to collection, you will see here this is going to be updated. Virtual machine 1 is running, user01 active, and this is currently not logged in. Basically the machine is assigned to user02, but the session is not established, that's why it's not showing. So it's going to active soon, so just give it some time. So it's applying, creating basically user profile on this machine. So this is good. Now we have logged into user 02 also. So if I go on RDS again and refresh this, you will see active connections. So this is good. We have logged in from 2 thin client machines and we got 2 users login. So this is all about how to create and deploy Microsoft VDI solutions, virtual desktop infrastructure, by using remote desktop services on Windows Server 2019. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe me for more videos. And if you have any query, any question related to this, you can always post me on my given mail IDs. Thank you once again. Bye bye.